What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapiche. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for stopping by on this lovely, but yet very windy Las Vegas evening. We're recording this in the evening hours of today. Schedules kind of got in the way, but we said, fuck it, we're going to make sure to record tonight. So we went ahead and did it because even though there's not too much news per se, like different kinds of news out in the boxing world today, there's one humongous story that's out there, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, which I'm going to address here momentarily. But as I mentioned, we appreciate you guys and your patience with us on this later evening show. We're going to kick off the show with the topic that's on everyone's tongue, the Ali Revival Act. Or Ali Act revival hearing that took place today that didn't seem to go very well for the peeps trying to keep it in place. We're going to talk about it because there's plenty to talk about, and there's we're going to throw in our 2 cents and our opinions on how things went. The I guess performances of one Nico Walsh Ali, or Ali Walsh, and Oscar De La Hoya, and then Nick Khan, of course, who is I'm not sure what he is of TKO, the president, CEO, something, which means he also runs WWE. He had his time up at the mic, and it didn't look very good. But we're gonna be talking about that because, boy, it left quite a sour taste in a lot of boxing fans' mouths. So that's gonna be one of the first things we're gonna get crack-a-liking, and most likely take a good chunk of the show because, boy, we got plenty to say there. Next, one of the other topics we're going to be talking about is something that I kind of predicted. It wasn't like, I read the writing on the wall, so it wasn't like I had some sort of fucking crazy insight. But Richardson Hitchins has decided to vacate the IBF super lightweight title, or 140-pound title, and move up to welterweight, which I figured was going to happen. I said it a million times over. Zuffa Boxing does not have a 140-pound division, and he's defended the belt, I think, twice already at this point. So I think he can give two rat's ass about holding on to that IBF belt. So ultimately, he drops it and is going to be moving up to welterweight. I figured that was going to happen. Again, it wasn't like it was something. I had no psychic ability to read minds. I kind of just read everything, connected the dots, which kind of begs the question: will Berlanga go to light heavyweight? It looks like that seems to be what's going on because, again, there is no super middleweight division. So where Berlanga land, we'll find out. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that. David Benavidez was on Ariel Helwani's show today and talked about the Ali Revival Act, right? And threw in there something about Opetaia, saying, yeah, a fight between he and I is probably 1 or 2 years away. Fuck. All right. Well, that kind of sucks. Benavidez himself said he might even go to heavyweight. So who the hell knows if we'll ever get Benavidez and Opetaia. But regardless, we're going to be talking about that because Benavidez option-wise might be a little limited. But that's going to be one of the ones. Floyd Mayweather made an appearance on social media today. I saw it on Pheno Boxing talking about, yeah, I'm not broke, guys. I own buildings worth billions, or whatever the fuck he said. Boy, I'm not sure what we can call it at this point other than just denial. But he wants you to hear it from the horse's mouth directly. It's Manny who needs the fight, not him. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that, and there's some fights this weekend that we're going to be talking about. It's going to be on DAZN, and it's going to be here on in Las Vegas, which yours truly had the pleasure of getting media pass credentials approved. So you best believe I'm going to attend the weigh-in, I'm going to attend the press conferences, I'm going to attend the fight, and get as much content for you guys as I possibly can. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be briefly going that towards the end of the show. But yes, we're going to be watching Lenier Pero versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller from the Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas. Reporting yours truly, none other than Fight Feed Mix. Okay, so before we get to the topics, as always, I'd like to throw in a word from our sponsors, Health E Sol, or Health Y Sol, tallow-based products. Me in particular, I love the patchouli, lavender patchouli scent of soap. If you decide to check them out and feel like purchasing anything, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get the same 10% off. Once more, Health eSol or Health Y Sol tallow-based products. Make sure to check them out. Alrighty. Oh boy, this one's going to be quite a dandy of a topic. For those of you who didn't know or didn't watch it, there was a hearing today in Capitol Hill. Ali Revival Act, TKO, trying to make changes or amendments to it. They make their case pretty clear. Whether or not we believe them is another story. They're trying to spin it in a way where they're basically saying, yo, this is another option for boxers. Basically, you can go this route where there's the UBOs or whatever the fuck they call them, WB, no, what do they call them? Yeah, UBOs, Universal Boxing Organizations. And essentially, they want to run their version of boxing the way Zuffa and Dana has run the UFC. Pretty much monopolized. Essentially, it's like they're gonna do it their way with their own rankings and their own championships and their own XYZ pay scale, even, right? And the way they're trying to spin it is, no, we're not trying to change it. We just want to add something to it so that lets boxers have another, another avenue that isn't necessarily the traditional boxing formula of multiple promoters, independent sanctioning bodies that rank, and then they have belts, et cetera, because, boy, if you hear Nick Khan go off today, you would think it's the devil incarnate, the boxing business. But the boxing business has been around for millennia. I mean, I shouldn't maybe the business, but anyway, at least over 150 years, roughly, gloved the boxing. And, it's worked this way for a specific reason. And as Andrew has said many times over, we can demonize these sanctioning bodies because they don't do themselves any favors. But quite frankly, when you hold one of these belts, that makes millionaires, guys. At the end of the day, that makes fucking millionaires. So I don't know how many times a UFC champ has to fight to even make $1 million, but in boxing, that's a completely different story, of course. And they don't want to take away these sanctioning bodies. Essentially, what they're trying to do is have another avenue. There were some people that were at this hearing that were representing boxing. Oscar De La Hoya, of course, a big name there, not just an Olympic champion, but Olympic gold medalist, but also a boxing champion in multiple weight classes. I think 6 or 8. I forget. I always forget. I think six actually. And boy, it's. I don't want to say it sounded hypocritical, but I mean, when things were cool with him in Turkey, there was never a bad thing that was said about Turkey. And Oscar even went as far as to sell the Ring magazine to him. That is when it was good. And then now it's not good. Now it's sports washing, as he calls it. Before we get into Ali Walsh, we're gonna talk about first Oscar and how this went. Andrew, I'm gonna bring you into the show here. Welcome to the show, first and foremost, of course. Before anything, the clips that you saw from, because I think the hearing itself is like 90 minutes. I haven't watched the whole thing. The majority of what I've watched has been clips on Instagram. But what you have watched, what's the general consensus? What's the narrative that you're getting, the vibe you're getting from the comments, what you're seeing? How did that go for round one for boxing here?
Well, I didn't look at the comments.
Okay.
I just started actually looking into the videos when I got home. Did not look like Oscar's performance today. Oscar to me looked like a young man who had a book report needed and did it last night. Very plain, very I'm a fighter from East LA who came up with nothing. Duh. Everyone knows this, Oscar. We've heard this story before, and if he had to go through all that, right, to make it longer or whatever, great. But where was the passion? Where was the look? I thought you were looking out for the fighters, right? Where's the evidence that this reformed Ali Act is a bad one, right? Like, I don't know. Let's look at the state of the UFC right now. Do their fighters like the men that are running the thing? Why didn't he say that? You know, I'm not here to ruff any feathers. I'm just stating facts.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's some quotes. I have quotes. Khan has quotes. Khan has things he wants. I got things I want to say too, and just start saying all the fighters that are fucking mad. I just want to buy a house. Remember that one? Pull that one out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about 14 bonuses and not $1 million? Pull that one out. Mister, I'm looking out for the fighters over here. This guy Khan right here. This snake that's sitting right next to me. Where's the passion? Oscar looked like a guy who wanted to snitch in the beginning, then maybe changed his mind. Listen, I got to tell you, and I hope I'm not screaming. I hate when I might even get a new mic, one that doesn't do the sound shit. So tired of that. I like getting loud.
Yes, we like you getting loud, Andrew, and we want to get every single thing that comes out of your mouth. When you get loud, you might have to get one of those mics that you just like clamp onto your fucking desk. You might need another headset anyway, but regardless, yes, those can handle louder noise.
Maybe the fire wasn't there as much because people just don't know how long Zuffa is going to be in, right? Maybe that had something. Because Miguel, I'm still mixed up on what Zuffa we're arguing for.
Mm.
If we're arguing for the guys that are like Connor Ben, Hitchins, and Berlanga, Opetaia, if these guys are the ones that are fighting for 750,000, which we kind of know they're not. That's the whole shit's bullshit. But what I'm not scared of Dana White Zuffa anymore, dude. And maybe Oscar isn't too. Maybe that's why he was kind of there, you know, with, oh fuck, I forgot I had court today. They're in event number 5. And they're already giving us Shane Mosley's second fight. They're in event number 5. And they've already made the round robin.
This is the second fight?
Didn't Shane Mosley just fight on Zuffa? Wasn't he on the undercard on one of their other? Bro, I could have swore Shane has already been on Zuffa.
I don't know. We have to double check that because I don't remember him being on one.
It's right in front of you, but yeah.
Okay,
could have swore he's already fought on Zuffa on one of the undercards, and they're already bringing him back against Boachuk, or
no, dude, I don't think so. Because it was the Daniel Jacobs fight back in 2024, and then the Jesus Ramos fight. I think that was a PBC card.
Oh, it was a PBC card
against Jesus Ramos. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I thought he was already on Zuffa. All right. Well, he's on Zuffa now. Well, all right. We're gonna start the show over. I'm gonna hang up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, okay. Either way, go back to my regular point then that I don't know how scared everyone in the boxing world is of Dana White Zuffa. Okay. As of right now, Opetaia's career, he was crying on the podium on night 1. Hitchins has just lost his title. He's now moving up. He's not a champion anymore. So everything he's worked for is now out. Right? There's a lot of fighters that are in tune with the UFC, right? Look, I don't know how much the Congress, the Senate is looking at this kind of if they know about all the guys that are and women that are pissed off in the UFC, right? How many of them complain about pay, complain about not getting their fights, complain about it's a trap, right? Are they really seeing this? Maybe not, but I know who is. That's the boxers. There's a lot of boxers that watch both sports. And I don't see Zuffa catching fire. When I go to Zuffa's platform, it has under 300,000 likes on Instagram and Facebook. That's pathetic. For as big as they are, you think if they would have came out, they would have been way over on the likes, still in the 100,000s, and it's the low 100,000s. Their fights are not doing shit. You know, the snake up there, Khan, and I call the guy a snake because he really sounded like one today. All that bullshit that was coming out of his mouth. Oh, if you want to be on trading cards, what fucking trading cards are you talking about? What kid is going to buy? I'm sorry, Shane Mosley Jr., but Shane Mosley fucking Jr.
Yeah. Who's going to buy a Mark Maxayo card? Come on.
Come on. Oh, if you want, what did he, merchandise? Yeah, because I'm running to go get their t-shirts. Yeah, Opetaia, my dream shirt right there. It's a fucking joke. Like, he sounded like, bro. Oh, dude. What else did he say?
He was talking about, he went deep into the sanctioning bodies, you know, trying to use that, again, we've talked about it, right? Sanctioning bodies are not angels by any stretch, and sometimes they don't do themselves any favors, and they didn't with this very publicized issue with Terrence Crawford and him paying the sanctioning fee, etc., and then them stripping the belt, of the belt. Nick Khan went deep in that shit. He was just like, this is, and then he totally, he used this, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He used this completely shitty, like, apples to oranges comparison of like a baseball team winning the World Series and then the MLB going after them and be like, yeah, we're gonna take the championship from you guys unless you pay us, which is not even close to being like an apples to apples. He totally went a completely different way, and the fact that I don't know who bought that BS fucking story, but I can't believe that he went that direction when it's obviously completely different.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And what I would have countered him on was baseball doesn't go to you after and say, hey, if you want this title, we need some money. You know when they do that, Miguel? They do that in the beginning of the season. You get taxed when you go over a payroll, right? And if anyone ever knows baseball, we know teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Red Sox, and those fucking teams are dominant, Miguel. Do you know how much those owners are paying over? Hundreds of millions of dollars they pay over. Let me give you an example, Mr. fucking Snake Khan. Major League Baseball luxury tax penalizes teams exceeding established payroll, right? But I want to know the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers are projected to have a record-setting CBT, competitive balance tax, payroll over $413 million. Their payroll is. This amount is roughly $169 million over the top, causing the team to owe an estimated. You ready for this?
Yeah.
$161.9 million the Dodgers are going to have to pay the rest of the fucking owners of Major League Baseball, Miguel, to put their team on the field and win that fucking trophy. Now, isn't that a little bit more money than $300,000 that Suleiman's asking from a guy who made $50 million? And I know the Dodgers made more than $50 million, obviously. But Khan is lying. They do pay a tax to the other owners to get that title. And it's in your going over on your fucking payroll. All those great players that are out there playing, you think they did that because they have a great mouthpiece? They need more snakes like Khan. I don't fucking like the guy. You know what?
Oh yeah, trust me. If you knew how many even WWE fans were like, this guy is ruining our shit.
Oh, dude,
trust me. There,
I had to turn it off. I'm sorry.
You got to turn off the WrestleMania?
It's a little too adult now, dude. It's a little too. I can't have a 10-year-old watching some of this shit, bro. Can't do it. No. Yeah. It was cool until it wasn't, and then it was like, all right, yeah. Might as well just let you watch fucking Saturday night fucking nudie shows too.
Right. The soft core that they have on HBO at the end. Might as well at this point.
He's not even watching for wrestling.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
trying
yeah.
to look up the TV. He's trying.
Sure. It's like go ahead, body slam her, please,
He's,
right now, right now.
he's doing stupid faces and something like, "Stop your mom! Stop your mom!"
Yeah.
But
Let her put it wrong.
he can't control it, bro.
Yeah.
He's like that one kid. Because I like titties, Dad.
Oh, yeah. I love him. I
I
love
love them.
him. Yeah. It's like, shut up. Your mom's in the kitchen. Motherfucker. Get him
So
peanuts.
yeah, so no, dude, that was a terrible example. Is to say, oh, it's like baseball coming in and taking your trophy. No, they do that in the beginning of the season. They say if you don't pay this tax, we're gonna take some of those fucking players, and guess what? Your trophy isn't coming. So go fuck yourself. Then the whole we want to fund $1 million to all the boxing programs that show a pathway to amateur and from amateur to pro. So that's their buyout right there, right? To start getting guys on their side. They got $1 million for all you guys who want to go sign up for that application. Oh, we'll do it, Dana. I'll have these guys ready for you. They'll probably send them Zuffa shirts and pants and all that shit. But scratch all that. Scratch that too. Even though I was just like, give $1 million. First come, first serve. Everyone better know that. It's the state of the UFC. If I was Oscar, I would have been nailing them on that. Like, so it's great you guys made it $7 billion, even though being highly reported Paramount overpaid and they're they're way over their heads on that fucking deal.
And they'll never make that money back.
It's being heavily reported right now that's the case with Paramount, right? Why didn't they stick to that? Why didn't he stick to? You're saying you're helping guys, bro. You don't have one fighter. You own the whole freaking sport. I'm trying not to cuss, trying not to be loud. You own the whole sport, Miguel. And in 2025, they didn't have one guy on the top 100. So here you come with this bullshit like a salesman. You're telling me you're going to put me on cards. You're going to put me on merchandise. You're going to put me in fucking 80 million subscriber platform. Yet you don't have one fighter in the sport that you come from, that you made a $7 billion industry. You don't have one guy in the top 100. That's pathetic, and you're a fucking liar. You are sitting here lying right now, and everyone just I am not the MMA media. I don't worry about Dana White being mad at me. I'm sorry for you, Miguel. Is this where I say
Nah, he's never let me in. He'll never.
Yeah.
They told me off a long time ago. They're not gonna let me in.
I'm not worried, so I'm not gonna sit here and why would Oscar just sit there and let the dude lie like that? Like, Oscar could have came out of this the promoter of the motherfucking century, dude. If he would have went hard, if he would have done his homework. You're lying to me, you're lying to these guys, but you're lying to the fucking fighters that I represent. You guys don't do shit. Bring one MMA guy in here to talk good for you. Let's start with that one.
That bringing up the Justin Gaethje having so many bonuses, that would have been so damning. That would have been so fucking damning. Even if you don't bring him in, fuck it. Just a clip of him saying that. Just him saying like, this is what we're looking for. Looking towards too. Like, this is the kind of environment that they're gonna have for their fighters. Boom, right there.
Hopefully, I'm not wrong on this one. But this guy, Khan, said that if we're not careful and don't give Zuffa the keys to whatever this act that they want to install, we might be watching the next Olympics from the sidelines in our own stadium, right? Or we will find ourselves spectators in our own stadium. Miguel, correct me if I'm wrong. I was already wrong once. I'm kind of nervous setting this one off top. In the UFC White House card, is there not an American in the main event?
Yes, who was being led to the slaughter, quite frankly.
There is American.
Yes.
Oh.
But Justin Gaethje. But that's the thing. Like, he's being put on there
I'm 0 for 2,
to get fucking slaughtered, though. He's gonna. He's gonna
Yeah, but
like
I
it's.
thought everyone was saying about that card was, well, how could we have a card in the White House with no Americans? But I guess it's because Gaethje's going to lose.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I want to say there might be. I mean, there's going to be some, but as far as like at the top of the card, he's number one. He's the one that's going to be in the main event against Tuporia for the
And I
lightweight
know they
belt.
brought the other one on later on in the day. Or what, they like last week they just added a card on who's an American, correct?
Oh, did they? I don't know.
Yeah,
To the same
Donald
card that,
Trump fucking told them to go hire some dude, so Dana did it right at the fights or something like that. You didn't hear
good
about it?
Lord.
There's some heavyweight fight got added to that. It's that weird
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the
yeah,
weird
yeah.
dude, yeah.
Yeah, actually, but I don't know if it's been done yet or not. I mean, it might. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. It's Josh Hokett, that guy. He wasn't originally. He's fighting another American, and Derek Lewis. They're both American. Derek Lewis is a black dude. That dude's a white dude. They're both American.
Because they were told there wasn't any on the card.
There weren't enough. I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
So I thought that was weird that he said something like that when I guess I should have just left it as when everyone's been talking shit about the White House card, right?
Mm.
No superstars, no freaking. I guess the guy we have up there is going to the slaughterhouse, but they fixed that by putting two. They're like, one's gonna win if we put two, huh?
Yeah. Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
I would have liked to have seen more passion. Yes, this is a courtroom, so they kind of, it's not like the a few good men, like, obviously you can't fucking explode like that, right? But I would have liked to have at least, I don't know, maybe Oscar raise his voice a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is the kind of, and he looked very obviously he looked uncomfortable, but like out of place. It's almost like he had a hard time answering some of the questions. It wasn't like his place to be, right? Like he's not. Maybe again somebody like Virgil Ortiz in that courtroom, he's whooping ass. But this one, he just seemed like he was a small fish, quite frankly. Even with his big name coming in here, the way he was responding or replying to some of these questions, it just seemed like he was very much out of his element. I do know that Nico Ollie Walsh did mention, I don't remember again how deeply he went in because I didn't see all of that clip, but he mentioned the antitrust lawsuit, the $375 million that's on Zuffa right now in the UFC. But I think it was just like, I want to see the clip again. I can't seem to find it. I just when I liked it and I going through my Instagram feed, but he brings it up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it seems as though Ted Cruz is aware of it, the guy who's in charge of it in court there. It sounds like he was aware that there is such a thing, right? Like how could that be such a big ass fucking lawsuit and that not raise any eyebrows of the way they do their business practices, that this humongous fucking antitrust lawsuit is, they're settling essentially $375 million fucking dollars. But
yeah, no, this.
Oh, anyway, I was just gonna say, yeah, but that's kind of all Nico Ollie Walsh had. That was it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he goes on to the spiel of his granddad and all this stuff as if he's some sort of, former champion or Olympic medalist or anything like that. Like it's obvious, we all know, right? He started boxing to kind of feel closer to his granddad, right? Not that he had any legitimate dreams of becoming world champion at any weight class or anything like that. And I understand why he's there, frankly, just because of the name. But he too was completely out of place. He was out of his element. He had a bit of trouble there. And Nick Khan, I want to say he's a lawyer or practicing or he's involved with the law somehow. So he knows how to spit the fucking words out. He knows how to spin a story, and he knows how to present some sort of perception, to the judge or I guess the court.
He's a salesman. I mean, seriously, the 80 million subscribers, they got 5 million views in America on their first run. They got 2.5 reported on their next. Like, there was nothing coming back from. And I don't even say nothing coming back. This is all De La Hoya should have had in his argument of why whatever these guys are planning is only to line their own pockets. They've done nothing for the fighters. They go look at their own sport. like I said, get a superstar out here to tell us that Dana White and is it Zuffa that runs them or TKO
Yeah, TKO.
Are doing good for them, because I don't ever hear it, and all I ever see in the what seems to be the comment sections is they run out of being friends with all their superstars because they outprice themselves. That's what cuts the ties at the very end. And when you look at their roster, they don't have anyone. They don't have absolutely anybody on the roster. Man, you guys, it's so pathetic. I'm telling you, you are either desperate or you dropped out of school for boxing when you go to sign with this Zuffa program. I'm sorry, there's just too much writing on the wall. I can't fuck with you. I can't help you. This is, as a grown ass man, if you've grown up in the last 25 years and you walk away thinking Dana White and TKO are out to look for the best in your interest as being a fighter, you get what you deserve, bro. Seriously. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They have nobody that even, this whole thing about it's a dying sport. Why did Oscar sit there? Why did Oscar go? I made more in my career fucking 20 years ago than you guys do right now. What are you talking about? I used to make $100 million a year. What the fuck are you talking about? Bob Arum had me making $1 million out of the Olympics. What are you talking about? He's just lying. Like, these people come from a sport that had absolutely nothing, Miguel. And I keep bringing the shit up to the MMA world, but that's what it is. That's the fucking facts. They had legends that were fucking dead broke. No millions, no money, nothing coming. The sport was bankrupt in America. Now, you might be able to go to Japan, go get on some steroids and go fuck around out there, but you weren't doing shit in America. That's what Dana White got. That's why they were able to make this thing work. That's not boxing. How dare you say we're broken? That's what I mean, dude. They're so far down the river. They're not coming back. Anyone who signs with these guys, I'm sorry, dude. When everyone blackballs you, when you turn into, what was it? They're going to turn into Terrence Crawford, and the rest of the boxing world is going to be the PBC. This is going to go back to 10 years ago when Crawford was blackballed. And they're going to do that to all their little fish. Hitchins is a little fish. Connor Ben's a little fish. And Berlanga's fucking one fight away from being used, bro. Done. 5 fights. 5 fights with who? And I'm telling you, it was I don't want to say it was a sad day for boxing though, Miguel, because I still haven't seen. I think they had more what's the word? People nervous when they first opened up than what they do today. I don't see it. I do not see it. And in Turkey, maybe the rumors are true about the money running out. If that does happen, bro, this company goes away in a fucking heartbeat. These guys aren't used to paying these kind of wages. They're only doing it because they have a private investor. Look, that's what everyone else is saying. This is not just coming from Mad Boxing. You guys hear this everywhere. The private investor's Turkey. So if Turkey's gone, is Mr. Khan even sitting there with this stupid ass argument today? I could have swore the $10 million that they're getting is from Turkey, right? Such a joke.
I think I'm kind of getting the impression that, like,
I don't like Khan.
No. that you're gonna invite Khan over to dinner one of these days, and he's gonna take you up on it, and then you're gonna poison his food. No, but that a lot of people seem to think like, yo, these guys, like, they're not paying them. I'm talking about Zuffa, paying them any attention based off of their shows and based off of these fight shows that they're barely, like, coming out the gate with these weak ass cards. But like, is it worth, like, having the attention to say, yo, you guys might be crawling right now and it doesn't look like you're a threat, but if we put our guard down, holy shit, here comes the right hand, and now we're fucked. Like, isn't it worth trying to nip it in the bud now? I like that Oscar was there and Nico Ali Walsh, even though Nico kind of was just there for the fucking name. But I would have liked to have seen them really come out right out the gate to squash it, because they're not squashing it. but not because they can't, but because they're not seeing it as a threat. That's what I'm saying. Like you and you're saying, like, yo, these fucking cars look shit. Like we were all worried about it before when they first coming out. Now we're now give two fucks. Maybe right now is the time we should be giving two fucks, because if we're like lowering our guard, as if I'm boxing, but the sport of boxing is lowering the guard because it looks like they're not really a threat. Isn't that like the worst possible time to like lower the guard? And at this point, we should just squash it like a fucking cockroach, before it becomes a damn infestation.
It's possible, yes, that in time, what you're saying is going to be true, that we shouldn't have let our guard down. But I think what we're seeing is there's two stories here, right? And one of them is Zuffa and how they got involved in boxing, and the other one is who's funding it. And I think the one who's funding it is way bigger than why Zuffa got into boxing or how they got into boxing. Turkey he's the one buying the big contracts, and he's the one giving this belt organization ranking system the $10 million to buy the little fish, right? It doesn't look good for sports in Saudi Arabia right now. It just doesn't. Not only can you say it's a security reason why they might have to pull back on trying to get tourism out there for at least for a few more years. It didn't work. The travel, they're not in touch. They're not. What's the word? They're just not in touch with the party scene yet, right? With the way Las Vegas really is. You can't halfway to Las Vegas and say you're the new mecca of boxing or new mecca of some sport, and you don't give half of what the other cities give when you go to Miami, when you go to freaking Las Vegas, when you go to New Orleans for these big events, right? So I think they were out of touch on that one. And the money. I mean, look, they're saying the Gulf is $5 billion in debt. Boxing, this is all word of mouth on the boxing side. It seemed like the Gulf they had a better number on, but boxing somewhere maybe $1 billion, right? But still a lot of money. It's $6 billion. I know these men are rich, but no one likes losing $6 billion out of their account,
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much it is. No one wants to lose money. Like, what the fuck is, I mean, for us, $10-20 is something. So it's like, yo, I don't give a fuck if it's only $20. I don't want to be losing that fucking kind of money. And even if they got gazillions, the point is, we're not going to, invest into this to lose money.
They are way in over their head if Turkey steps away. I don't see this guy Khan lasting in our industry if the money's not there. If you don't have his sugar daddy saying, oh, add a zero. Every time they probably went to sign someone, they have to call him to see if they can add a zero to that check. It ain't them. It's not them. We've even heard Oscar say this shit and Dana White not come with one fucking I will sue you if you say that Turkey's the one funding Zuffa boxing. Not once. He says it all the time on his clapbacks. So I think it's the evidence is out there that Zuffa is not that real. I'm hoping that's why Oscar came with such a weak defense for boxing. But like I said, I kind of liked how Khan kept saying, but if you want to keep it the same, just go sign with them. I mean, Miguel, that's kind of, to me, that's like, if you want to be a dumbass, go with the Zuffa. And if you want to be, maybe be a $50 million fighter one day, go over and fight with Oscar and Eddie Hearn and Queensberry and Top Rank. I'm cool with that. You will get the bottom of the barrel, trust me. Unless Turkey's signing Connor Benz of the world for $15 million, and who else did he? Devin Haney for $15 million. Who else is he overpaid? Where we're just like, what?
Bivol and better be, $10 million each.
Yeah, $20 million. Oh, was it
20 total
total.
And then they did it twice. So who the fuck knows what the? Yep. Yeah. I was reading some of the stuff here. Like I was trying to go through some of the articles in addition to having it on here. I have to wrap up my head here, but there was a point where Nico Ali Walsh did bring up the pay gap of like the revenue plus the only 20% going to the fighters. That was pretty nice. That was pretty cool. I haven't caught all the clips of him, and I don't know how many times he speaks, but I think that might be I mean, that's the most important, right? The pay specifically. When he brings that up, I'm hoping that was to some degree a tally, a point in the boxing, side of the win column. Because I mean, how bad does that look? That the UFC and Zuffa has fought tooth and nail to try to keep that percentage between 18 and 20%, pay for the fighters, compared to the actual revenue that they get. I hope that resonated with Ted Cruz. I hope that was like, oh shit, what? Only 20% compared to some of the other ones, because it, it, it's so stupid that they try to use other major league sports, and I'm saying TKO, Zuffa, Dana, use other major league sports as like, well, you don't see the NFL with sponsors on their fucking, if the NFL doesn't approve it, well, yeah, those fuckers are getting paid, $700,000, what I'm saying, for a fucking season. You're certainly not doing that to fuck. I mean, maybe he's a champion in Zuffa, but you're not doing that under normal circumstances. So frankly, they don't fucking need sponsors. Here, they clearly do. I'm gonna read this quick quote that I saw, or not, a comment on one of the videos. It says, "Man, I watched the whole hearing. Boxing definitely lost today. As passionate as they were, a Mexican from Barrio and a black fighter who didn't have the best education weren't really a notch for the high level. Super educated billionaire CEO. Oscar and Nico did good, but really struggled to get their points across." And then he put like a teary face there. I'm seeing that as the narrative from a lot of people, not just the comments, but a lot of other content creators, saying, wow, it looked bad. This was a swing and a miss. That one, I think, going back to your original point, where was the passion for that? I would have liked to have seen. I don't even know if it's possible to bring in some of the fighters that got paid from that antitrust lawsuit. Anderson Silva being, I think, one that received the most. I don't know if he got 10 mil or 17 mil or something like that. His portion of it. He was part of it. Kung Lee was another guy who was part of it, and there's a few other ones. But I don't think, like, are they? Is part of them accepting that money, like saying, like, all right, it ends here. You can no longer talk about this. You can no longer take us to court for anything else. Like, it's not like they're going there for that, but they're going there as like testimony for the Oscar and for Nico Walsh. Wow, wouldn't that have driven the point even more to bring some of those guys in?
Yeah, yes, and I would have just stood heavy on the state of the UFC right now, because that that says a lot about that. Contradicts everything that Khan was saying. Really, it really does. The guy looked like a salesman. He really did. He seemed cheesy. Bob Arum, white guy, but with mob ties, kind of had that mob kind of feel to him, right?
Mm.
Dana White and this guy does not feel that way. These guys feel like those fucking dudes that use the shit out of people. They really do. I mean, Khan, the way he's saying, hey, if you want to stay with them, stay with them. And if you want to come to, it's almost like he's asking for the low IQ guys. He really is.
Mm.
If you want to make an argument why you should make more money, go fight for them. We're only looking for the guys that are going to fight for this pay scale right here, dumbass. Right? I mean,
Right.
seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz is like, so if we pass it, it's just a positive for them. But if you're smart, you'll stay with this side. Yeah, Your Honor. That, yeah, or not Your Honor, but yeah, that's what we're saying here. All right. So really, did they grease enough pockets to get their thing passed so they can do their little stunt over here and take away the low IQ fighters? Now, look, I'm going to tell you, it is going to hurt the small promoters. We've talked about this, dude. We talked about all of these fucking guys that put on fights that are trying to hustle a few dollars, say local events or local fights. They're all gone, dude, because a lot of these guys are going to be heading over to Zuffa with that dream that, I mean, bro, if your dream is to make like, 5-10 grand, fuck, Zuffa is offering you, what is it, 25,000 or something right out the gate? Seems like a lot better option for me there than to fight at some high school gym up the street
for $500, $600. Yeah.
So, yeah, and you got to make it the round. You know what I mean? You might not even make that.
Right.
Got to make the round to make that $500. Damn it! So they're gonna take away from all those guys. But how many of those guys? How many times do we see? You know, there's only so many Pacquiao stories, right? Oh, when he was small, he fought for a penny. Don't see too many of those, right? So there's not too many tough man contests, guys, that turned into world champions and went on to unify and make millions of dollars. There's just not. Not saying there isn't. So I know, don't start emailing, texting.
Yeah. It's just there aren't many. It's a very low percentage. Yes. I got a soundbite for you here real quick. Let's see if you can hear it.
Dumbass.
I got that. I had to make a clip. And I was like, all right. I had to add that to the soundboard. I'm not high tech, but I'll throw you in here one more time.
Dumbass.
Nice.
Figured I'd throw that one in there.
Nice. I will tell you. Did you know Teofimo had a meeting with Zuffa and walked out with no contract?
I
just seen it. I just seen it when I was looking up some stuff. I didn't know that. He's on an interview saying he was in Zuffa's office and they talked and it was good and cool, but I think I'm going to go and so that you could add Lopez to Shakur to Tyson Fury to Andy Ruiz. There's been a few names that walked into that building and did not like
Bam Rodriguez, supposedly, right?
There you go. Thank you. Damn, that's another one.
Yeah, that's another one because I remember that was the word for a hot minute, right? That was in, and then he looks like he re-signed with Matchroom, which, by the way, I'm going to bring up Bam Rodriguez a little bit later on here today. But anyway, yes, another example of a dude is like, I can imagine this is how the conversation went. This is how much we're going to pay you for a championship fight, right? And he's like, is that how much my team gets? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that how much my, my nutritionist gets? Like, no, that's how, like, yeah, bye.
I might stick with that broken sport.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you see that car that I'm driving. That broken sport got me that car right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, the small guys don't get a lot of spotlight, but I'm one of the ones that do, and that car right there is this broken sport. And I've said it before. If by broken sport Dana White means he can't do what the fuck he wants in that sport, then I suppose he's right. Then if that's what he means, you're gonna go ahead and call it that. When you can come in here and think you can try to run shit the way you can here. People talk. I mean, I think it was even brought up the shorts, the fighter shorts, right? That have no fucking sponsors on it. They're just completely sterile and white and shit. And I wonder. Oh man, see, there's just so much. It sucks that even us, they're just we're just fucking internet guys. We're just the podcasters or whatever, YouTubers, can think of so many pieces of evidence. Exhibit A. Here's this. Exhibit B. This is what they want to bring to the sport of boxing. They want to do this. If you guys are okay with this, what the fuck I was gonna say? We're not okay with it. This is the reason we're here, to make sure this doesn't happen. If this gets passed, and for all intents and purposes, a lot of other content creators saying it's as good as done. It's not done yet, but it's as good as done. The next step is gonna pass through. I forgot the specific order, but point is, I'm hearing that, and I'll send you a video about it too, because I saw one that popped up and it's like, yo, it looks bad. But anyway, considering there's so many pieces of evidence, like shit, I want to fly down there and be like, yo, no, fuck no, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll picket signs, put on some picket signs out from the Capitol Hill, try to make sure this shit doesn't happen. But and mind you, this is just, I guess, talking more Oscar De La Hoya because he's a promoter. Did they kind of fuck themselves a little bit? A lot of bit by doing this to the boxing media, whatever boxing media is around there? We've talked about it before. When they deny certain journalists and they let in certain YouTubers and fucking influencers and stuff like that, right? Then when this shit happens, I'm hearing Oscar in particular and other promoters like, yo, where the fuck is the rest of the media that try to like bring this to light? Like, yo, you kind of did this to yourself. This is biting them in the ass right now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, we've seen the change happening in the boxing media for a while now. We've talked about that. And yeah, you really don't have a media section left, to be honest with you. That's why I was like shocked when you told me Mario was still doing PR. I didn't even know there was that kind of stuff, really being done anymore. Like, I thought the PR was social media,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't, we will see where it goes. If I was Oscar, I also would have been heavy on they're not going to affect the $1 million fighters. This really isn't. You know, um, these guys that have signed Hitchins and Ben, prime examples, because these two were supposed to be bigger in the sport than what they've now put them marketing themselves to be.
Mhm.
I won't feel bad for them when they start complaining. When they start giving the same complaints as, oh, my fight got 5 million views, but I'm still only getting 700 or 300,000 because I didn't, I'm not a champion and I lost my last fight, but I'm so popular. I'm so fucking popular. They're not going to care because there's a pay scale they have. Oh, I wish I had the button. And fucking, you know what I'm saying though, Miguel?
Yes.
I'm not gonna feel bad for these guys. When you give me the same, because I feel bad for the UFC. You hear me say it all the time, dude.
Sure.
Some of them dudes, it's yeah. You don't want to hear someone say I had 14 bonuses and not $1 million in total. That is crazy work, man. That's crazy. You hear some guy go, oh, they're signing third world guys at 10 for 10. 10 fights for 10 grand? Or is it 100 grand? Is it 100?
No, it's not a fucking 100 grand shit. I wish it was 100 grand. I mean, I've seen the recently the most recent number that I've seen is 12 for 12, but still 12 for 12 for fuck's sake to be in the premier organization in the world. I'm kind of on the fence on the feeling bad part, and I'll tell you why. There was a time in like 2017 or 2018 where there was a push to have the current Ali Act extend to MMA. And a lot of fighters just didn't fucking show up. So there's a part of me that I'm like, man, you motherfuckers. Like, you guys could have fucking done something about it. And when the time came, y'all didn't. And in particular, bigger name people. Obviously they were getting big, like Ronda Rousey and John Jones, Conor McGregor, who were making a fuck ton of money at the time. They were like, no, we're cool. We're fine, and they were at the time, but everybody else, not so much. So there's a point to where I'm like, I don't feel that bad for them because there was a point where they could have done something about it and not many people showed up. Now, the part that I do feel bad about them is it's not boxing. They don't have another choice. They're really fucked, which should mean they should have gone anyway and try to make things happen. Boxing, I really will not feel bad for these motherfuckers if they do, because they do have the other option. Now, as of right now, again, the way TKO is trying to spin it is that if you want to still fight for those belts, cool. You know what I'm saying? I suspect that will still be around. I think they're going to get to the point where they're like, all right, now we're in. Now we got it passed. Now we're going to try to get rid of all these motherfuckers out here. And whether or not they actually will be able to do that is another story. And of course, that is 5 years from now, 6, 7 years, however many years, the long game, I'm trying to say. But it's like, once you let them in, it's going to be fucking difficult to get them out. You know what I'm saying? So that not letting them in to begin with is a problem. Huh?
Paramount might not be waiting for this long game bullshit, Miguel. I'm sorry.
No, you don't think?
$1 billion
but
for 2.5
they're not going to
views?
make. They're not going to make no 7 million. I mean 7 billion.
Well, I'm just saying. I think they cut the UFC if this thing keeps going this way. They're not going to just keep giving them $1 billion. There's got to be some kind of numbers that need to be reached in the contract. It's not just here's $7 billion and whatever.
Well, no, but I mean, like, if they signed off on it, I guess my point is they signed off on it. It's like, well, shit. Now we're really fucked because we signed expecting not to get the $1 billion back a year or whatever, and it's not going on. Is there something in that merger slash acquisition of the rights that says, yo, if you don't meet these fucking requirements, we're cutting you loose?
I would think there would have to be something in a contract that protects them in case shit goes south. Like I said, you're signing $7 billion like that. Come on now. You know what I mean? They had to have promised something. These are our numbers. This is how many views we get on average. Blah blah blah. That's how they came up with this price to give them to buy their product, right? So if they don't reach those numbers that they promised when they got the contract, well, why the fuck would that company have to pay, right? So we will see, but I don't know if Paramount's in this for the long. Not at those numbers, dude. That's half of the fucking viewers that was at show 1, Miguel. Can you imagine them going, yeah, sir, we lost half of our viewership tonight? What the fuck? Can you imagine the CEOs of it? Wait, what? Half, bro. Whatever. That gets you fired, man. It really would. In one show, half the people didn't come back for a free fucking product.
Oh yeah. All right. Anything else I want to add to that before we move on to the next topic? Because I think
no, and we should, because we went way over. I told you.
I mean, that one is a hot topic, right? So obviously that one's gonna get our blood going and let us spew more than just our 2 cents. Okay, this is kind of another Zuffa in a piece of information, but it's kind of something that again that we kind of called Richardson Hitchins has decided to drop the IBF championship belt that he has at 140 pounds, and he will be moving up to welterweight. Now, this again is not like it's what's the word? Breaking news, not breaking news. It's not a shocker. This is not shocking. I figured that was going to be the case. We all did, quite frankly. It wasn't just me. All I did was like connect the dots and read the writing. Let me go ahead and read this quick here. Andrew, we've mentioned his name before, Keith Connolly. He's a manager of somebody else. I don't remember who specifically, but apparently he's Richardson Hitchins' manager. Okay. And this is a quote of him. He says, it was a tough decision for Hitchins. Bullshit. But he's outgrown the weight class. All right. He's been fighting at 140 since he was 16 as an amateur. Hitchins is an elite fighter, and I truly believe he'll be even better and stronger at welterweight, and that he will be fighting for a world title at 147 in the next 12 months. I certainly hope they're not referring to a Zuffa belt, but I don't see how in the fuck he is going to be fighting for another championship belt if he decides to stick with Zuffa, which he is, I should say. If Zuffa doesn't recognize any of the other championship belts, I guess this is just complete BS. Every single time, you've mentioned it a few times already. This is the other Zuffa. This is not the Zuffa in the Meta Apex in Las Vegas. This is the other Zuffa that is more than willing to work with sanctioning bodies, because clearly this is what they intend to do with Conor Benn, and Ryan Garcia for the WBC belt, and now here. There was a point where Hitchins was going to fight Oscar Duarte, and he was going to defend his belt, but he pulled out, and Duarte will swear up and down that he was scared. If you hear Hitchins say it, it was the money wasn't right. When the time came, the money wasn't right, so he pulled out. All right. I figured there was no point in trying to hang on to the IBF belt because there is no 140-pound weight class in Zuffa, so I figured he was just going to drop it. Now, here's the thing. If these guys like Hitchins and Berlanga, if they're fighting on the other Zuffa and not, the ones at the fucking Meta Apex for $750,000, then that means I assume that they are going to permit 140-pounders and so on and so forth. I can't imagine that they will not allow these dudes to fight there. Let's say they bring in Berlanga, and if he's on that side of Zuffa, I don't see why they wouldn't let him fight at 168 since they're already going against all their fucking rules anyway. So anyway, with Hitchins here, dropping the belt. Are you surprised at all, Andrew, that he's going to just let go of the belt, which we figured was going to happen anyway, and moving up to 147? Is it that, he's fighting to stay at 140, or, because of his body, he's outgrowing it, or because he knows damn well that Zuffa has no 140-pound weight class, so he might as well drop the belt?
Well, yeah, and Zuffa's also trying to start a welterweight division, right?
Sure.
So if they're not going to have a junior welterweight division for their little guys to fight, to have something to fight for, you got to make one. So you have Connor Ben, you have Hitchins, and who else do they have at welterweight? Don't they have one other guy they signed at welterweight?
Um, Name wise, I'm trying to remember if there's anybody else at welterweight. I'm sure there are, but nothing is coming to
Thought there
mind
was.
right
I know. I thought there was 3 guys, but either
now.
way, um, it's getting there. That's the B side of the welterweight division, right? Connor Ben, and let's just start with them two, Hitchins and Connor Ben. It's not the A side in any fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good it's a good start for your smaller 147 guys. Those are some big names for those dudes to link up to, but there's only one title. So either Connor Ben or Hitchins is going to be making I don't know what they're going to be making. You guys, that's why I hate talking about this shit. Because I want to keep acting like they're going to make the stupid pay structure thing that Dana White announced, but we know they're not. I wish they would already come out and say what they were signed for. How many fights is it, and what's this fight deal worth? Because, Miguel, that's going to tell us right there if they're actually talking to Dana and this guy Khan. It really is. Because, honestly, I think Khan and Dana cringe when they have to talk the numbers to boxers. I really do. They're not used to this kind of people talking back to them, people with demands. They're not used to the Connor Bens of the world. They're not. And so, no, I don't think they like talking numbers like that. They probably send that shit to Turkey. Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. This guy wants more money. So I need to know where these guys are at. What's their plan? It's weird that nobody in the media has gotten an interview. I guess that's Dana and them maybe telling them not to. These guys signed a while ago. Why don't we know the numbers yet? What's Berlanga's first fight?
Yeah, when's Hitchens' first fight? When's those guys' first fight? I have yet to hear, number one, when they expect to fight. Number two, who their first opponent is going to be. And number three, how much it is kind of. We all hear Connor Ben, right? We hear the $15 million one fight, right off the bat, boom, and it made big noise. Why aren't we hearing that from these guys?
Right. So we really need those numbers before we can start talking about just throwing shit at the wall about where they're going to go with them. Because honestly, their whole thing doesn't fucking work. I'm telling you. We already seen Connor Ben didn't make the money back on his first night, right? And I guarantee you put Berlanga in Brooklyn, you put Berlanga in Puerto Rico, you put Berlanga anywhere, he's not making $1. He's not. Rumor is he's making $10 million on this contract. Now, is that 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights? What is it? The rumor was remember they were all clowning like this dude is not a $10 million fight, but they're not going to make a dime on that. And Hitchins the same thing. If you overpaid him right now at this current time, you're not going to make a dime on him. The bleeding does not stop, and we're $1 billion of bleeding. Dumb. Like I said, Miguel, I think if this hearing was 2 months ago, it would have been had me a lot more. I'm probably saying that wrong. I would have been nervous, right? I'd really have been nervous. Today, I'm not nervous. I don't hear of anyone signing. Fucking dipshit. I know I'm being mean tonight. Dana told me 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, he was about to make some big splashes. They're nothing. Crickets, dude. I've got a better roster of guys that did not sign than anything they've signed so far. The roster is better of the guys that walked out of there without a contract. I'm sorry. Yeah, we will see, dude. Time will tell. You're saying the long game. I believe they already busted. They're just playing now. They're just in there saying how long until the girl realizes he's getting soft.
It's like I feel something. I feel something mushy back there. Are you gonna like just
You didn't.
yeah. Give me just give me 7 more years. Give me 7 more years. I swear I'll make it work again. Promise. Just make sure that you keep providing the the heat.
Yeah. My
Oh boy.
wife's gonna say, "You got problems."
Yeah. Like, oh, you gotta talk about that kind of shit. That's how we make the show entertaining. How do you not know this by now? This is how we roll. All right. This one was kind of, man. I swear everything revolving around fucking Zuffa today. David Benavidez was on Ariel Helwani's show today, right? And was promoting his upcoming fight with Zurdo Ramirez on May 2nd. And he was asked about if he gets past Zurdo, are we looking at an Opetaia fight? An Opetaia because I guess technically Opetaia doesn't have a belt anymore, right? They stripped him of the IBF belt, but he will be essentially winning 2 belts. Talking about
Hopefully Miguel comes back here. Yeah, his computer seems to have froze. You guys want to make a cool reel? You should go see how much the UFC trading cards are going for online. Show Mr. Khan how great of a job they're doing on those trading cards. Maybe I'll start looking into that. So stupid. Come on, Miguel. I didn't even hear what he was about to get into. Damn it. Or I would just go with it. Oh, he was talking about Benavidez, huh? Who did Benavidez say he was? Oh, Opetaia. I think he's going to talk about Opetaia and Benavidez. Yep. He just hung up. He'll call right back, or he'll get right back in. Yeah, I'll let him come back. But no, not worried today. I was a little upset with Oscar, and to be honest with you guys, I didn't even I didn't even watch Nico Ali. I just didn't feel like he had any place there. Like, I get it. It's your grandpa, and I'm sure you say that every day. I'm sure for the rest of your life you're going to be saying, who my grandpa is. But just felt like he was out of place there.
Whew.
Trying, bro.
All right.
I went back in on Nico Walsh.
Please do so, because again, he didn't seem like he was in the right spot. You were talking about Nico Walsh. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I came back and I hear like my grandpa. I was like, oh shit, are you having a fucking moment here that I should probably cut the fucking recording. But sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck happened. It is pretty windy over here in Vegas, so my apologies. But as I was saying, when David Benavidez was asked on the Ariel Helwani show, what possibilities are there of fighting Opetaia after, or should he get past Zurdo Ramirez? This is his direct quote. He says, "I don't think the fight is completely taken off, like being off the table, but I think it was just put back in line. I mean, put back like 1 or 2 years, meaning it was probably pushed back some because of what's going on." So, yikes, 1 or 2 years. If he gets past Zurdo Ramirez, which is going to be May, I most certainly don't want to wait 2 more fucking years for him to fight somebody like Opetaia. But it seems like there's a very, very real possibility because of obviously what's going on with Opetaia having to drop the IBF belt and his situation with Zuffa. 2 years from now, Andrew, will we give 2 rats ass about Benavidez and Opetaia? Would we really care about that fight 2 years time?
No. And I think he was kind of. We need to see what Opetaia's contract is with Zuffa, bro. Because maybe he was just flat out saying that fight's not happening until he's not with, We all know Benavidez is not fighting for the Zuffa title. I don't even know why you would want that fucking piece of shit thing. For reals, it's the bottom of the barrel, dude. It's come on. It's not special yet. Maybe, Miguel keeps saying the long run, maybe 20 years from now will be special, but who cares then? Benavidez will be 60 by then. He doesn't give a damn. So I don't want your title. I only want the 4 titles that make me a millionaire, not make me whatever it is that they're doing. I still don't know what they're doing, and I'm kind of getting upset talking about this shit like they're legit when I don't even know if they're legit yet. I don't know who Conor Benn is. I don't know who Hitchins is. You know, I haven't seen Conor Benn sign with Garcia yet, right? So how do I know that they're all in on fighting for the WBC? How do I know the WBC wants to really work with these guys? I know
or any other sanctioning body, anybody else for that matter.
I know money's money and all of that, but they rub people the wrong way. They talk bad about a sport that all these men had a part in creating and keep this thing going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all money isn't good money when you cross those lines, right? They were doing fine without Zuffa. Turkey, whole different other story. Turkey we can forgive because he got a lot of zeros.
Yes. Back to that. Just add another. It's like what? Hey, you're not forgiving me? Here's another 0. Oh, I'm totally forgiven.
I'm like Floyd with Al Heyman with Turkey.
Yeah, I swear I will never take legal action against His Excellency.
I called Turkey and complained about the other guys.
Yeah, you snitched to him.
Yeah,
like he's like the person you friend zone and you're dating him. You're like, this guy is treating me very well. Go back to that guy. No, I mean that makes sense. I mean, I think number one, because of the whatever limited popularity Opetaia has, but he is at the end of the day, I guess if that still matters, the Ring Magazine champ means he is the number 1 cruiserweight in the world, and I suppose that still has, or at least in David Benavidez' opinion, it still means something to say, yo, that fight is not completely off the table. Yeah, I still want it if he still has it in 2 years' time. I suppose.
But remember, it's over. Remember, they passed their own deadline. The Ring Magazine now is not a real title anymore because it broke its own rule.
Oh, that shit. Oh, for
2.5. It's been 2.5 years since he's fought in a top 10 guy or some shit. You can't keep a title. And they're like, dude, if you guys don't even back up your own rules, how is anyone going to take this legit? Well, that deadline passed, and you didn't see him strip them. So I guess they're not.
Well, they're not. I mean, they're already. I mean, we can count, like, at least I think we might lose fingers counting how many times Zuffa has said they're going to do something and then it ends up not going down.
Yeah.
And even Turkey himself.
Well,
right?
This was for the Ring. This was for the Ring Magazine title.
I know, but it's owned by who? Fucking Turkey. You know? So it's still to some degree connected to him saying something that's going to go down and it's not going to go down. So I don't see them stripping him of that. And I guess they're going to try to hold on to that for dear life to make it seem like he legitimately, and lineal wise, yes, I get it. But really, if you're not fighting the other champs, that only can take you so much, you know, that if you aren't fighting the other guys that are ranked for this lineal title, at some point, that's not going to count anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that title. Look, the title was good back in the day, but it was always just the main 4, right? The Ring really did come on later. And didn't you get a Ring? Wasn't the Ring title given when guys got like the Ring, the Fighter of the Year? Wasn't that when they would get their little picture with the Ring belt? Do you remember that back in the day?
Yeah, but I think it was because he was already the Ring champ. So the Ring Magazine was like, let's take a look at all the Ring champs and then vote one for the Ring of a Fighter of the Ring, Fighter of the Year.
So you're saying that Julio Cesar Chavez was the Ring champion also?
Well, he was when he beat Meldrick Taylor in 1990. After that, I don't know.
I remember his WBC belts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember them calling him that. Now, I do remember the ranking system would have champ, but I thought that just meant because they were the champ of the division. I just don't remember that belt being that big of a presence as what Oscar tried to make it here recently, right? Like, no, we're going to be inside the ring fucking after every fight when the guy has this title. I don't remember it like that back in the day. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was too young. I just don't remember Chavez giving a damn about no ring belt. Or Floyd, you know? These guys only had WBC belts, but whatever. The ring belt's going away. It's going to continue. That it is what it is, man. What they have going on, Miguel, we don't even know if it's going to work. Opetaia, that project did not work, right? We can clearly say that one didn't work. Nobody was friends. They weren't friendly with each other. They stripped them on the fucking week of the fight, so it's, and I don't see it working in the future. I don't give a shit if Conor Benn fights Ryan Garcia. Well, I do give a shit. It's a great fight. But if he wins the title, what? So now he's going to stay with the WBC and start defending their title? We already talked about this. No, he's not. He's going to go right back to Dana, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do over there, So until we see it work, my money's on this thing's not ever going to get off. It really isn't. Unless the Saudis keep fucking adding zeros to those, overpaid prospects that they're getting right now, it's not going to work. They're too much in the red. They're going to be putting on events that are already in the red because the guys they had to sign overpay to get them in the building aren't going to make a damn dime back. Your fucking Paramount thing isn't going off. Dude, that 2.5, you guys, that was on the fucking UFC. Zuffa did, what did they say, 400,000 or was it 200,000 views on their first show?
I don't remember.
I'm going to give them a high one. I'll say 400,000. All right, 400,000 views. So they weren't even doing 1 million. You know what I mean? That 2.5, I'm taking that from the UFC. That has nothing to do with Dana White Zuffa boxing. So we'll see where this all leads.
Yeah, it's definitely a big clusterfuck.
It really is.
When they say they're going to do something and not recognize sanctioning belts, sanctioning bodies, and then boom, now we have one of their guys fighting for the WBC belt, or at some point they're trying to make the fight with Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, and then now here Opetaia with his struggles with IBF. I can understand Hitchins dropping the belt because it's not going to matter. But if his manager's saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna collect the belts at 147," no, you're not. If you're with Zuffa.
And what about this, Miguel? Opetaia had come into signing with these guys thinking he was going to unify, right? They talked about unifying.
Mm-hmm.
Conor Benn comes in talking about, I'm going to fight Ryan Garcia for the WBC title. If this fight doesn't happen, Opetaia's already didn't happen. If Conor's doesn't happen, can they sue on breach of contract? Can they get out of a contract going, wait a minute, when I came in, because both fighters have been very clear in the media that they do talk to, that they're going to pursue the real titles of the world, right?
And now even Hitchins per his manager too. So we can add him to the list. 3 guys.
Yeah. Dude, somebody's lying, right? If none of these guys fight for a title here in this 2026 year, I think that Zuffa might be lying when they're signing these dudes, telling them they're going to have all these avenues, and they don't. I don't know, man. That seems like it'd be that would end in court too.
Yeah,
boxing in court. Just too much talking of boxing in court.
Yeah, I actually wanted to throw in another fucking story in here that is kind of. It was the Oscar Virgil going to court on July 14th. It just, it's not in court. Yeah, not much to add to it. I mean, that's the reason I kind of didn't want to throw it in. I was like, well, it's just a fucking court again, right? I was even going to bring it up earlier when Oscar was, talking for the hearing, the Ali Act hearing. But I cannot wait for Eddie Hearn to dig up some fucking dirt, to be like, yo, they're telling these guys they can fight for the belts and that they're not gonna, or some bullshit like that, right? Something where they can do discover some sort of or uncover some bait and switch that they're doing with these fighters, that clearly they're signing these autographs with the impression that they're going to be fighting for the belts. And now we're seeing, I mean, this Hitchins dropping the belt was not a fucking surprise. Like, well, of course, does he give 2 fucks about the belt? I don't know, but obviously that was going to happen because he certainly wasn't going to bring that belt into Zuffa. They're like, oh yeah, sure, we're going to recognize that one because you got it. But yeah, more boxing in court. I wish Eddie will give us a little bit of information as to what he's uncovered thus far. But
yeah,
I guess
and
we'll
get off the punking of Dana White. Back
yeah.
to boxing, dude.
Yes, claiming that Misfits Boxing was offering them 10 mil. I don't know if it was each or total to fight Dana.
His confidence went through the roof, Miguel. Like he got some insider tradings on Dana White's health or something. You know, it's like, wow, where'd that change of heart come from? He's like, yeah, what's up now, bitch? Yeah, you're a bitch. How about we fight, huh? Like, Eddie, why so brave all of a sudden?
Dana White shows up to a fucking court hearing with like a back brace and a walker and like, oh, come on, fool. What's up? I was waiting for you outside, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I meet you up by the flagpole.
He has a heart pacer no one knows about. Her son Eddie just found out about, dude. He can never fight you. Don't you know his heart's bad? Oh, got him.
Yeah. Let me pull a Jake Paul and call out some UFC fighters and be like, well, come on, bitch, if you want to fucking fight me.
Just saying, it was a change of heart overnight, man. Like all of a sudden, he's all flexing, showing muscle.
Yeah. Like, don't call me a pussy. Don't call me a pussy. Like, you're the real pussy. Let's go. Let's do it then. Oh boy.
Oh, then saying that. Oh, he was way over confident though. He goes, I don't fight on the undercard. Did you hear Eddie say that? Oh my God. He's like, I'm only a main event. He's like, they want to pay 10 million for us. I'm not fighting on the undercard.
Eddie the Hitman Hearn. You can call him that.
Right.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, geez. Let's go back to court, Andrew. Let's go back to court. Our good buddy Floyd Mayweather has been on social media recently, saying. Let me go ahead and say this. I'm going to read some of the stuff that he's saying here because it's pretty crazy. He goes, when I come and do an exhibition, all right, talking about exhibition in particular, or he comes out and boxes, he says, have some fun because I do it because I want to do it, right? He's saying, I do it because, I have the option of doing it. And this is kind of where I was a little suspect because Floyd used the word whereas Pacquiao at his age cannot. When I heard him say that, I was like, hold the front fucking door, fool. How the hell do you know how to use that word? How do you know how to use it and where to insert it in the sentence? But he threw that in there. I was like, all right, I'm gonna say a prediction. He's gonna use that every single time he talks in front of a mic now. Every single fucking time, he's gonna be like, I gave up the gym. That gym, I sold it to Manny, whereas Manny had to buy it, or some shit, right? He's gonna throw that in there. But he says, he's claiming that Manny is coming back because Manny has to, and it's really sad at his age because he's in a much worse position than Floyd, going as far as to say that he's financially set, and he wants to let everybody know that there's going to be a lot of people talking about him and his finances, and you're going to hear a lot of different stories, right? He says all the stories have me being broke, but I'm not. Going as far as to say that he says he has let me see here. I'm off of, I guess he makes money off of properties that pay for his jet, the one that he sold. According to this, right? All right. I don't know about that. It's paid for. All my cars are paid for. I own $1 billion buildings. I'm not sure where the fuck those are buildings at, but regardless, he's saying buildings. He says, I own so much property and I'm steady investing in different, what does he say? Different properties or different things, he says. Okay, cool. So he says he invests in the tech world as well. He's made a lot of smart investments, according to him, and that has put him in a position to make these kinds of choices. Okay. If you hear him say it, I swear this guy is having such a hard time spitting out these words because I'm not sure he believes them, quite frankly. You hear the uncertainty in his voice. You hear the fashion in which he says these words, not with confidence, but rather, shit, can I sound convincing to let these people make these people believe what I'm saying is true? You've seen the clip I'm talking about, Andrew. What do you make of it?
It was the first time that I felt like Mayweather might have taken too many punches in his career. I didn't like it. To be so out of touch with what's being said about you. You know, I know Michael Jackson has that famous interview where he says he never knew how much people wrote bad about him. He really didn't read the tabloids on himself and didn't know all the things that were being said. Is Floyd that type of entertainer? Was he that to himself that he never picks up a phone and actually looks what's being reported out there on him? I mean, like, the IRS is after you, bro. Like, you're usually not in a good place when the IRS has to put a lien on your properties or on any of your income that you have coming in. They kind of know all this, the financial side of you, right? That's why they put those things on you. Like, hey, he really doesn't have anything. You better stop it before he gets rid of it, right?
Yep.
The jewelers that have come out and put lawsuits out, I'm like, he can't be that out of touch. So is it mental? Does Floyd have, look, we've always, Lee, rest in peace, we always thought he had a mental problem with his spending. He spent like a person that had issues, man. The $18 million watch has to be one of the worst. What else did he spend? Oh, a $47 million jet. This is a guy that used to only make $100 million per fight, right? Which is a lot of money. Until you're spending a half or a quarter of that in one trip to the store. Then it's not a lot of money at all. Because honestly, if you go off of who was it? Robert Garcia's little breakdown of $1 million in a boxer's life.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right? You only come out with about half anyways. So Floyd damn near with that jet, and I know he didn't pay it at once, you guys, but just hear me out. Might have took one of his whole checks. After taxes, 100 million is about 50, right? And the Robert Garcia breakdown, 47 million gone. It's just, I didn't like it, man. I kind of feel bad for Floyd. Like, he's hella old. He doesn't look the same. The fight's not going to be good. Dude, hey, you know what? I'm dead serious. He should go bald. He should go clean cut. Anything to make him look young. Seriously. But I wouldn't bring this new Floyd, not the beard and the fucking hair up here. He looks old, man. Don't talk like you're fucking running shit. You're not.
Do you think he's being fed this? Like, his people that are maybe running his money saying, no, Floyd, tell them that you're good because you are. Trust me. I'm looking at your numbers.
Okay.
You're doing just fine. Do you think he's being fed this?
If there's loopholes where they're hiding money, I don't know. I'm not rich, right? So I don't know all the loopholes that these rich people have. But
you're not rich. You're not rich.
Nah, man.
For as often as you go to Reno, man, I swear.
Shut up,
if you fucking loaded, homie.
Yeah, Caesar's Palace is doing good. I'm just kidding. What was I gonna tell you right now?
If there's a loophole where they're hiding money.
Oh yeah. You know, one thing I hate. That's not the word. Which I always find weird on Mike Tyson. You remember how many times Mike went bankrupt? Mike was broke. Mike was this. And then like a year later, it's like Mike bought a $5 million home in Arizona. Mike drives a Bentley. Like, he still had money somehow. So I don't know if what Floyd's actually saying is, I'm never going to be flat broke, right? Like, I might not have $1 billion, but I got 10 million hidden away that they're never going to touch. And so at least I can live, like a regular person, not having to go to work. And he won't be that person he was when he was fighting.
No, he won't be money Mayweather. He won't be that.
Nah, but you won't see him, working at bagging at Walgreens or somewhere here anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's
driving a fucking forklift at your nearest Lake Smiths.
Exactly, bro. So maybe that's all he means when he says I'm gonna be fine. But he should have had how do you say it? Generational wealth.
Yes.
His kids should have been fucking set right at $1 billion with the right investing and the right opening up the right businesses.
See, but that's the thing. It wasn't, because he made that $1 billion off of fighting. right? Like that's how he made it. So it's like that's not generational. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't have his fucking kids continue. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want them to fight, I'm sure, but they're not going to be as good as him. They're not going to be Money Floyd or whatever, Money Mayweather. It's like whatever investments he did, if he made, we'll just say like $500 million of fucking fighting, and then like the other 500 million, he made off of like investments. Like, oh shit, clearly he knew what he was doing, and he was able to generate that because once he's gone, that can just kind of roll on itself. No, it was completely on his shoulders. Fighting made him $1 million fucking bucks. One thing that I wanted to throw in real quick is you were talking about his spending. A $50,000 iPod that is covered in diamonds. I figured a diamond encrusted iPod Classic worth $50,000. When you see stuff like that, we talk about not feeling bad for some of these fighters who signed with Zuffa. I mean, yeah, it's you'd be hard pressed to find some sympathy for Floyd when you see that kind of spending. Maybe he does have 10 million bucks somewhere in some Swiss bank account or something like that is out of the IRS's touch. But if he does have these $1 billion buildings or whatever the shit, how the fuck is the IRS after him? What I'm saying? Like, if he owes it, cool, pay it off.
And that's another one that they kind of debunked, though, right? He's talking about that Manhattan skyscraper.
Oh, yeah,
right. Remember? And they were like, he had just invested in like the first part of it, but when it was time to put down the real money for the actual build, he never fucking invested again. So he's not a part of that building. You know what I mean? Like they already that's what I'm saying. Like Floyd, I don't know, man. I don't know. September is going to be a real sad fight, though. I just feel like Floyd's getting in the ring for every reason that he said Manny was getting in the ring for. He was actually talking about himself.
Yeah, right. It's like, let's see if I can kind of get everybody's, detective nose onto Floyd, onto Manny, and away from me by saying, no, it's him. He's the one that is, in deep shit. Hopefully, you guys will believe me and turn to him.
He bought his fucking gym. I'm like, Floyd, how can you say he's broke? He's buying shit that you've had taken away from you.
Yeah, it's like you're selling stuff because you need to. He just bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how bad can that be? You might as well sell your WBC belts. And he's like, yeah, I'll take those too. Go ahead. That it's one thing. It's one thing when you have to sell the shit, to liquidate it somehow. It's another thing when your opponent that you're talking about is buying this shit from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you think that's a flex? Like, oh, I got one over this motherfucker. I've sold him my fucking gym. Oh yeah. Like, does he think that he just somehow got one over on Manny? What the hell?
If I'm Manny, I'd do a photo shoot in that gym. I swear to God. I know I already said that, but I would. Removing all of his stuff. Just, oh man. I would have been, man. There's a lot of payback Manny can do on Floyd right now. A lot of payback because Floyd had his way with Manny a few times on social media.
Yeah, including claiming that he was on some sort of PEDs, right, and all that stuff, and that delaying the fight that ultimately took place in 2015. Yeah, if I was, maybe Manny is just, has a heart of gold and doesn't want to kick a man while he's down. But I mean, he bought his fucking gym, for crying out loud, like he's going to have a mural up there of like Floyd getting knocked out with like big X's on his eyes and shit, like why not just go there, dude? I mean, the dude deserves every fucking bit of it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So those are the main topics that I wanted to talk about here before it gets any later. But I did say earlier that I wanted to bring up Bam Rodriguez, right, one more time because, guys, I have some fantastic news for you that I kind of dropped, and it's not a new camera because this fucking thing is kind of unfocusing here, but I guess this is going to be enough focus that I need for the time being to say what it is I need to say. Great news, guys. I very, very appreciative. I was approved for fight credentials for a fight this weekend, in particular, Linear Pero, if I can pronounce that. Last name is easy, Pero, but first name is a little bit more difficult. But he's going to be fighting Jarrell Miller. Big Baby. If you guys remember the last time Miller was in the ring, his damn hair came off. If you remember that shit, that toupee that he had. That's going to be taking place here at the Fontainebleau. And the reason I bring up Bam Rodriguez is, again, not because of my fucking camera, but because Matchroom is actually going to hold a press conference to announce Bam Rodriguez fighting, who was it here? Let me go ahead and bring the name up here. Oh, fantastic. I hate when they do this. They always leave the fucking, the first name out. Vargas. Who the fuck is Vargas? God damn it. You ever notice that when they do that shit, whenever they announce it? I'm gonna see if I can find. I don't know who Vargas is, quite frankly, but he's gonna be moving up in weight here. I'm talking about Bam Rodriguez. Here we go. Okay, cool. So Jesse Bam Rodriguez is gonna be moving up to bantamweight to challenge the WBA bantamweight champion Antonio Vargas. Fuck yeah! All right, they're gonna be fighting in Glendale, but they're gonna be having a press conference here in Vegas before the Miller and Pero press conference. That's gonna be taking place tomorrow at the Fontainebleau. So your boy is gonna be there. I'm gonna try this. Andrew, you've tried it a few times, but I've never actually done it. The YouTube live. I'm gonna try that. I'm going to try to see if I can get that going. And if it works, I'm going to have it on here on our YouTube channel live, the Bam Rodriguez press conference, followed by Jarrell Miller and a Linear Pero press conference.
Damn.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Two of them. All right. Now, I got another one for you. Let me see here. I want to make sure I get it right. The announcement of Raymond Ford versus Oshaki Foster. That is going to be on Friday. They're going to have a press conference for that shit on fucking Friday before the Miller and Pero weigh-ins. So I'm going to attend that. So I'm going to do my damnness to get as much fucking content for you guys as I possibly can this weekend because they're letting me into all this shit. So I'm going to do my damnness to get as much content and everything that I can for you guys. And of course, I'm going to be putting on the weigh-ins and press conference for specifically the fight that will be taking place this weekend. So if you guys are in Vegas and you guys intend to go to the Fontainebleau to catch Pero and Miller, by all means do so. And I had to do this whole fucking skit while my fucking camera was unfocused. But regardless, I want to throw that in with you guys. As always, I appreciate you guys, watching and tuning in to catch our videos because you guys are the reason why we have 187 fucking subscribers. So fuck yeah, appreciate you guys, and hopefully we gain a few more this weekend with all the content that I'm going to be posting on here. All right, fantastic. This is as I guess, you know what? I think I'm going to have to turn off my TV because I think it's like the light that's fucking this up. But anyway, oh, look at that. Right, I turn it off, boom, it fucking focuses. Okay. That I believe is everything that I wanted to say. Andrew, was there anything else you wanted to add to this before we call it a day?
No, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So, guys, make sure to tune in tomorrow because I'm going to have a couple of press conferences for you on our YouTube channel and try to do live. If live doesn't work, I'm just going to record it and then post it afterwards. But make sure to tune in then Friday and fucking Saturday because I'll be at the fights on Saturday. So that is going to do it for us today. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care and peace.